All right, guys, so we've learned the basics of modeling, unwrapping, and separating our materials on objects and also on braid. So here is pretty much part 2 of our nail series. And what today we're going to get into is adding on charms, doing the trace method, using Boolean, different things we can do, and also adding diamonds to our nails here. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, we could start by doing, I pretty much want to say the diamonds. We could start by doing the diamonds. So pretty much if I have my reference back up, we are going to add diamonds here, diamonds around, diamonds here, diamonds here, and all around. So pretty much all around on the nails. Um, we could probably switch it up. We could probably switch it up right here and do pearls instead, and then diamonds on the remaining, okay? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and move this over. All right, so places you can get diamonds. You can get diamonds from whatever is here on the blender by hitting Shift A, mesh. You should have diamonds. If this stuff don't come up, it's probably because you need to add in the preferences of um, add-ons. So you would just search extra objects or extra mesh objects and all that stuff. Just make sure those are turned on. Extra objects. All right. So if not, you can always use also an add-on called Jewel Craft. It gives you all the diamonds here. You can use that as well. So I'm just going to start with something basic. I'm just going to use Blender's diamonds. So I'm going to do Shift A, mesh, and then down at the bottom, diamond. Then I'm going to do a brilliant diamond. That's just a regular base diamond here. So you're going to see it right here because that is the center of the origin, in which I turned off. Okay, so you see it here. I'm gonna go ahead and hide my nails so that we can work with the diamonds here. So I'm turning that off. All right, so you should have this custom preset come up. Depending on what I'm working with, I would use the custom preset, but pretty much with this, you're just gonna get rid of this part right here, and you can play with that down there. Doesn't matter. Girdle height, I normally would just do at 0 because we don't need it. And the diamond down here, what we're going to do, we're just going to select the diamond, go into edit mode, make sure your vertices select mode is on, and we're just going to select all of these, and also make sure, I'm going to hide this just a quick bit. I'm going to also make sure we are in X-ray toggle mode here. That way we can grab all the diamonds. So we're just going to grab the ones down here and delete those. We don't need those. It's not going to show on our nails. We don't want it to show at the bottom of our nails. No need to do that. So I'm going to go back here and you should have just the diamond here. All right. So what I would do, I would just go ahead and unwrap this now because we're going to be using all of these diamonds or duplicating these diamonds here. So I'm just going to hit A, U, unwrap, and there's the diamond. I'm going to use S in this area to scale it down so that we have our diamond there. And we're just going to leave it like that. We don't have to move it because we're going to come back in and unwrap them again so that they're single diamonds here. Now, what we're going to do is bring up our nails again. So we're going to go back into object mode. We're going to unhide our nails. And based off of the reference, our diamond should be going around each nail here, each nail here. All right, so that's pretty much a different way I would do this, but because I'm teaching it as beginner friendly, I'm just going to show you the way beginner friendly wise here. So I'm going to go into the snap tool up here. Make sure you select that snap tool. Make sure this is your diamond is selected, and you're going to hit the options next to the snap tool. So your snap options is going to be snap with center, snap with face, align rotation to target, back face calling, and move should be highlighted. So this is your settings for snap. Just keep in mind it won't work for everything, but you can try your best to do it with the snapping tool. If not, you can add on the diamonds and whatnot pretty much by itself, just by using your move tools and things like this, you know. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the G key and then just start putting it on the nail. Obviously, I'm going to scale it down. I'm going to move in, but this time I'm actually just going to move at an angle because all my diamonds should be going down here. So I'm going to hit G key and place it there. Now, like I said, it doesn't work all the time. Okay, so I am just going to just keep going up all the way around. So I'm going to fast forward this part because I have to do this for all 4 nails, but I'm just pretty much going to do one nail on camera, and I'll come back and show you the finished product.
Southside, we gon' set this party off right. West side, we gon' set this party off right. Man, I promise. She's so self-conscious. She has no idea what she's doing in college. That major that she majored and don't make no money, but she won't drop out. Her parents will look at her funny. Now, tell me that ain't insecure. The concept of school seems so secure. Sophomore, 3 years, ain't picked a career. She like, fuck it, I'll just stay down her and do it. Cause that's enough money to buy her a few pairs of new ears. Cause her baby daddy don't really care. She's so precious with the peer pressure. Couldn't afford a car, so she named her daughter Alexis. She had hair so long that it looked like weave. Then she cut it all off, now she look like Eve. And she be dealing with some issues that you can't believe. Single black female addicted to retail. And when it falls down, who you gonna fall down? Come on. And when it all falls down, man, I promise. I'm so self-conscious. That's why you always see me with at least one of my watches. Rollies and lashes that drove me crazy. I can't even pronounce nothing past that for safety. Then I spent $400 on this, just to be like, nigga, you ain't up on this. And I can't even go to the grocery store without some ones that's clean and a shirt with a team. It's seen, we live in the American dream. The people highest up got the lowest self-esteem. The prettiest people do the ugliest things. For the road to riches and diamond rings. Shine because they hate us, floss because they degrade us. We tryna buy back our 40 acres. And for that paper, look how low we a stoop. Even if you in a bench, you still a nigga in the coop. Come on. And when it falls down, who you gon' fall now? Come on. And when it all falls down, I say fuck the police, that's how I treat them. We buy our way out of jail, but we can't buy freedom. We buy a lot of clothes, but we don't really need them. Things we buy to cover up what's inside. Cause they made us hate ourselves and love they wealth. That's why shorty's holler where the ball is at. Drug dealer by Norton, crack here by crack. And a white man get paid off for all of that. But I ain't even gon' act totally other than that. Cause fuck it, I want you to take up with 25 down. Before I had a house and I do it again. Cause I wanna be the 106 and bar, wishing the bands. I want to act all terrific, like it's all terrific. I got a couple past bills, I won't get specific. I got a problem with spending before I get it. We all self-conscious, I'm just the first to admit it. Yeah, come on. And when it falls down, who you gonna fall down?
All right, guys, so I did the best I could with doing my diamonds and everything for my nails here. All right, so once you have all your stuff on, just make sure they are on like the same map. So I actually have 3 pieces, so I'm just gonna join them all and join. Once you open up the edit mode, you're gonna see that all your stuff is pretty much on one map here. So since we are, you can use a material map and then just place this on, or what you can do, you can bake this stuff as well. Since we are doing everything from scratch, I would just pretty much just recommend baking at this point. I'm going to show you how to bake. I do have videos on baking that can be applied to this as well. You just got to use your thinking cap and put 2 and 2 together to understand how to do this. So with all of your diamonds selected, if you are following along with me, you pretty much are going to unwrap them individually. So hit the U in this area and unwrap, and it gives you all of your stuff here. So you can pretty much do it this way as well. You necessarily don't have to do it um, with a map you can find on Google or whatnot. Um, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep it like this simply because I'm just gonna build off this. So, all right, so next we got all the diamonds on. Let's go ahead and do the flower here. And in order to do the flower, you can use many ways of doing the flower. You can find a flower on Google and search one and use the add-on trace method. But I'm pretty much going to teach you how to do it from start or scratch. It's pretty much a way to do it without using add-ons. So I'm going to hide the nails and everything in the scene. I'm going to make sure I'm in object mode. All right, so we're just going to make a 5-point or 4-point star, whichever one floats our boat. So I'm going to go into the 1 and then 7. I'm going to shift A, mesh, and then circle. Now it has 32 on it. Let's get it down to 16. If we need to add more, we'll add more. So 16 and then enter. And then I'm going to go into edit mode while that's still selected. Now make sure you're into vertice select mode. And if you're still in 7, be in 717 on your numpad key. So now we're going to make a little flower here, okay? All right, so you see with the vertice select mode, is select all of these. We're not going to use all of these. We're going to use the corners here from top to bottom. So you're going to select this corner, shift select this corner, shift select this corner, shift select this corner. All right. Now we're going to hit S and scale it in. And mind you, this is a way to make a chrome heart charm if you want to make a chrome heart charm as well. So now what we want to do, we want to get this into a shape of a flower. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the right and left. I'm going to start right and left first. So right and left of the end vertices here. So select this one, shift select this, this, and this. And we're going to scale them inward. Now we're going to select the up and bottom one, select this, shift select this, this, and this. And we're going to hit S to scale it in. And then SX to scale it out. I'm going to do the same thing. I forgot with this one too. So select these again. Hit SY to scale it out. And we have our kind of like flower, but not yet. So what we're going to do, we're going to hit A to select all our vertices and hit F to fill it in. This time we're going to add in a modifier, add a modifier and search for subdivision surface. And you see how it takes form of like a flower, but we still have to fix it. I'm going to crank it up to 2. And I'm just going to select the center vertices again, scale it in. And I forgot if I even told you what we're doing. We're doing a flower charm. So that's what we're doing. And as you can see, it's pretty much trying to take the form of a flower. So you can scale it in more. I will leave it right here because we're going to cut out the center. All right. So now it's pretty flat and we don't want it to be flat like this. We are going to add in extrusion. So get into the one view, hit the letter A for all, and then E. Then you can move up or down. All right. So when you tab out of it, it looks like this. All right. So what we need to do, we need to add a center line to get it to smooth out correctly. Okay. So hit Control R and make sure it's in the center, not up and down, but in the center here. And then left click and right click. All right. So you can do this however way you want. I'm just gonna scale it, hit A and scale it to on the Z axis so I can get it a little flat. And as you can see, might have an issue with the edges, so we need to bevel them. So I'm gonna first go into object mode. I'm gonna right click and shade smooth just to see how it looks. Doesn't look too bad, but I feel like I still want to bevel the edges so it's not jagged. So I'm gonna go back into edit mode. I'm gonna do the line select here in the center. I'm going to select one line and hold Alt and select it again. Now I'm going to do Control B to bevel, but I'm just going to bevel just a tad bit like that. And I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. Control B and then bevel just a bit. You can also select the lines and you can also invert, but I don't think I would invert here because it might mess up the center. So like that. And that's not what we want. So sometimes you can invert to fix that jagged edge, or maybe go up on the levels of that. But we already have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm gonna go back into object mode. I'm gonna shade smooth one more time just to see. Okay, so pretty much like that. So we're gonna go into object mode and we are going to apply this modifier. So it's applied. And now what I want to do, I want to cut out the center. So in order to cut out things or make holes in things, I'm going to show you how to do that. So with this still out, you're going to hit Shift A, you're going to do mesh and then cylinder, and we're going to hit 1Z, then we're going to hit S and scale it down pretty much in the center like this. You can smooth it if you want, shade smooth, then you're going to move it down so that it intersects with the flower. So G, Z, move it down just about like right there. All right, next we're gonna add in a Boolean. So the Boolean allows you to have objects intersect. That way you can make holes or whatnot in your objects. So we are going to select the flower, add modifier, search, and then a Boolean, Boolean. You're gonna have these, make sure difference is on, make sure exact is on, object, and then we're gonna hit this picker here and we're gonna select the cylinder. And as you can see, I believe it cut it. So all I'm gonna do is just apply. I'm gonna delete this center and we have some sort of flower, okay? Now I'm gonna bring back my nails and I'm pretty much gonna place it where my reference is here. All right, so I'm gonna put it here, 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 here. So it should only be 4. So I'm gonna drag that charm. You can do the snapping tool or you can just move it. It doesn't matter.
And when it falls down, who you gonna fall now? Come on, come on. And when it all falls down, south side, we gon' set this party off right. West side, we gon' set this party off right. Shot town, we gon' show them how we get down. Just like a safe bill, save my life.
Well, we got the center, we got the front, back, and that circle in the middle. All right, so now that that's unwrapped, we're gonna go back into object mode and we're just gonna copy all of this. Like I said, you're not seeing the bottom of the nails. I don't care that it peeks through. Control D, Z, bring it up. And I am going to place it also on the center. Control D, X, bring it over. Same thing with this. Control D, X, bring it over. All right, so if you want, you can go ahead and make materials for these. So obviously these two are going to be the same, or join them together. Join. I'm going to go into edit mode so they're all on one map. So remember how we separated all the colors, and hit L for this one too. Add a material, flower 1. Add another one for flower 2. And remember, we have to assign the flowers. So the first two I'm assigning to flower 1. Gonna click off in the area. The second two, I'm gonna assign them to flower 2. And I'm gonna change the color. So for flower 2, I'm probably gonna use this color here that's on the edges of the other nails for flower 1. All right, so I'm gonna go to object mode, take a look at my stuff. Turn that kind of cute. Let me add on the diamonds so we can get the full scene. All right, so like I showed you with how to use the boolean to cut holes in it, you can cut holes in also the nails if you want to have nails in it, and add, I'm not going to add this, but I'm going to show you, you can add a Taurus. You can rotate it on the Y90, hit enter. You can bring it down. You can scale it. You can add like this to it as well. If you want to add like that type of ring, just using a Taurus. Shade smooth. If you want, you can do it like this. But I'm not going to add it. I'm just going to keep things simple. So my suggestion would be just to shift A and try out all of your stuff here. So you're not limited to what you can do. You don't necessarily have to do all this stuff that I'm doing. So now I'm going to add like little pearls here. And that may just be it with making our nails. So in order to add the pearls, what I do is shift A, mesh, and I would add a UV sphere. All right. And I would shade smooth this. I would scale it down. I would not put any type of modifiers on this because it's not worth it. Scale it down and just put it on top of, or not necessarily on top. Yeah, like this. Like I said, I don't care about the back. That's the least of my worries. So you guys, we have completed building upon our nails for today. So what's going to happen tomorrow, you're going to get a video on how to render, making sure that we can make our maps. Now I do have a video on it, but I'm going to specifically do this for the nails. Um, and we're also going to get into doing our diamonds because our diamonds need to be rendered. Stay tuned for the next video tomorrow, you guys.